FlossTube. Welcome to my stitchy home. My name is Becca and I'm filming this on Mother's Day, which is May 10th, and it will be uploaded and appear to you on May 11th. So how have you been? Did you watch my FlossTube videos from the week of May 4th? There were 4 of them, and in them I did a current whip parade, what I've worked on in the past year but I'm not currently working on parade, and then 2 kit parades, and there's more kits to go through. So what I'm doing today is I had one bag of projects last Thursday that I decided to wait and do. I thought I was going to upload on Friday, but I was just exhausted. There's other stuff going on, so I decided I had to wait till today. So in this bag are some samplers, and well, you'll see. I've gone through and I've written down the kind of like the facts on these projects, as well as I think I've got a total of 15 projects here, and I don't know that I'll get to all of them today, so this will continue, I expect, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and I have more that I haven't yet written down, all the the kind of fabric and floss. And I also plan this week to pull out all of my quilt works in progress and kits, things that I've kitted up but haven't yet started. So that's coming, and I don't know if I can do it this week or if it'll be next week, but I want to pull out all of my needlepoint and canvas work projects, and I have several whips there, so I really want to review those for myself, but I thought you might like to join me in that. I know some of you have done needlepoint canvas work. Some of you have maybe thought about it, not sure if you want to go that direction, and some of you don't know anything about it, so you might see something you are interested in trying, or you'll just, I don't know, you might learn something. I might have something to say that would be something you don't already know. But anyway, it's just a chance to spend time together as we sit and stitch. I certainly have been tremendously enjoying all the floss tubes. I can't keep up with even the people that I watch in their normal floss tubes. They're putting out more now, and it's really hard. So if you happen to catch this, click on it, and you're like, oh no, she had 4 last week, what am I going to do? I have a what do you call it? A playlist. I have a playlist for these videos, which are to celebrate my 1-year FlossTube anniversary, which was May 4th. I started May 4th, 2019. So last Monday was my 1-year anniversary on FlossTube. And these parades of my projects is a kind of a celebration. I've been wanting to do it all year and hadn't done it, so you can just go click below on the playlist, or click on my stitchy home below, and then you'll see one of your options is playlist. Click on that, and you could save that to watch later, and that way it'll start from May 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then starting with this one, which should be May 11th, and so on and so on. So if it's 6 months down the road and you want to just watch these or listen to them while you sit and stitch, they'll be there in their own playlist. So I think I'm going to have to put together a playlist of people's floss tubes that are coming out special now, and you know, put them all into a playlist of my own and watch them one day. Just kind of try to catch up on as many as I can. I know there's a watch later feature, and I have utilized that, but at this point there's so many that I want to see that I don't know. I don't know. But if you're new to FlossTube, if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a pretty nice community, a very nice community to hang with, and we do enable one another, but we also encourage, answer questions, assist with people who are searching for something. So getting to know floss tubers and people who watch FlossTube is only going to help you in your journey of stitching and learning all about the different designers and materials and such. So welcome aboard. And to those of you who've been with me from the beginning a year ago, thank you so much for continuing to watch and for subscribing in the first place. I never intend, not ever, to make this a monetary, to monetize my channel. It's fine for those who want to do that, it's fine. But I personally am so irritated when I'm watching something and get interrupted with a commercial that I've signed up for YouTube Premium, which is $11.99 a month. And with that, I don't have to see any ads, any commercials. But the money I pay goes to those YouTubers who do monetize their channel. It does, some of it does get to them as revenue. So I'm helping them, I believe. That's my understanding. But I don't intend to ever monetize my channel. I really just want to document my journey and be encouraged by those of you who comment, and like I said, from watching other floss tubers and learning from them and just enjoying the conversations that happen. So all that, let's get started. My first project here is, oh, and you are going to hear not so much zipping and unzipping. I have one zipper bag, but these are projects that are, you know, in plastic bags. So you will hear some of that because I'll try to take things out of the plastic. This is the Mercy A Chandler 1795 sampler. Mercy A Chandler. And this is from R R Reproductions. I don't know how readily available this is. It says it's 39th in a series. I don't know what series that is, but and I am going to stitch this on 32 count iced cappuccino. And let me tell you, this is a big piece. It's 27 by 28 inches. I don't even know. You get a sense of how big that is. But it's a buttery muted yellow. Very nice. Oh, and then I'm not going to take these out, but these are the, I can get them. These are the DMC. There's a light aqua and some green and yellow. And I think everything will show up. This is the called for fabric. There is this one gold. I don't know. And I don't know whether I think I would stitch this with one thread just because I like stitching with one strand over two, but on 32 count, probably 2 strands is better. All right, next up is Winter Garden Gate. And it's from Moss Creek Designs. And I think a friend of mine went to a class and got this. And so there's Winter Garden Gate. It says, get my glasses on. In the silent grace of winter's heart, my garden sleeps. And then it looks like you have room for a set of initials on this side and a set of initials on that side of the gate. I think there's also a bookmark, perhaps a bookmark design in here, I'm not sure. Fabric, 28 count mystery linen, probably just basic linen, and DMC. Or Anchor. Anchor, not DMC, Anchor. And then there's some specialty floss and a metallic. And it looks like she probably started using 2 of the flosses to make the bookmark, but otherwise she hasn't done anything with this linen. And I bought it from her. I just thought it was really pretty. The Raspberry Sampler by Nancy Sturgeon. And I don't think I can take this out. It's a really small picture. The final design is about 3 inches square. You stitch it on a 32 count linen and DMC, and there are specialty stitches. So I think there's five DMC there. But like I said, it makes just a really small, because it's stitched over 1. If you do it the way, you know, it says to do it. Otherwise, it would, if you stitch it over 2, and you might not have enough of the flosses that are on the floss card, it would be about, 6 inches square. So I haven't decided if I want to tackle stitching on 32 count over 1. I don't know. I don't know that if I want to do that. So some of these, in going through them, some of these I know I'm going to destash. And so I'm thinking about creating a Instagram destash page, and if future FlossTube say, hey, I have some things up on my destash page, go check me out on the Instagram, because I know I'm not going to stitch some of these things. I mean, I'm attracted to all of them. I just know more new things are going to come along. And if something's not a really strong, I have to stitch that, then I think I'll destash it and let somebody else hopefully stitch it and enjoy it. All right, the next one is, I forgot to say this one. The Raspberry Sampler by Nancy Sturgeon. Maybe I did. Okay, the next one is Spring Blooms by Elizabeth Designs. And it is not the best picture, but you can see that there are specialty stitches here, and there's a couple of charms. And so I pulled from my stash not a called for green linen, but a 32 count purple lavender linen, which may require some changing of the DMC. There are a couple of purples there. And the pattern actually also calls for 4 pearl cottons in the same color as the DMC floss, stranded floss. So I'm thinking I might try to, if I do this, to not do it with the pearl cotton, but just stitch everything with the stranded floss, because it's a very small design. It's 51 by 90, and I think I'm drawn to it mostly because of the specialty stitches, and I think it would stitch up super quick. And the charms are in here too. So that was Spring Blooms. The next one is by Just Nan. It's Rose Hearts. Oh. See, the ones that I'm going to keep, I need to go on Amazon and order some project bags. But it's by Just Nan, Rose Hearts. And somebody started this. I got it from a stash sale. So whoever put it in the stash sale had started it. Isn't that pretty? That's that top section. And it's 28 count antique rose linen, 1 water lilies, and some DMC. And so the water lilies is I think it's Williamsburg. Yeah, Williamsburg, which is sort of a pink and blue and white. And oh, two more DMC. So some of these, the Williamsburg water lilies and 4 of the DMC are also needed in the next pattern I'm going to show you. So, which is also a Just Nan design. And it is called Friendship. Friendship by Just Nan. Also has specialty stitches. Both of these do. And it is stitched on 28 count antique blue linen. And like I said, it's 4 of the same DMC plus these blue, and ecru pearl cotton, some white or cream beads, and 3 heart-shaped crystals, which are already in the package. One more look at that, so that you can see the crystals across the top there. Oh yeah, I think again the specialty stitches are in the small size. Like this one's 122 by 75, and the rose colored one was 123 by 76. So about the same size. They would make good companions. The only thing I kind of worry about is the whole rose and blue aesthetic is not really how we decorate, or so I don't know, you know, not that, I don't know. I don't know if that matters, really. All right, so that was one day. Okay, so before I go any further, since this is, I'm filming this on Mother's Day, I thought I'd briefly show you my Mother's Day start. It's the Salt Box Quilt Sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I'm sure many of you have seen this. And Lisa Kindred Stitcher and Shonda Stitching in Idaho and Carol the Salt Box Stitcher were all starting it today. So I told Lisa and Shonda, I said I'll start it too. So there's my day one start of the Salt Box Quilt Sampler, using the called for flosses. These are my flosses, and the fabric is a 32 count vellum. And that's not the called for, but I thought it looked pretty close. Next Sunday, the 17th, Stacy, the 911 stitcher, and I are going to start the Sampler Company's I Went to Church on Sunday. And it says, I went to church on Sunday. My love, she passed me by. I knew her mind was changing by the roving of her eye. And on the back, on the listing of DMC, it shows a picture indicating her eye was roving to somebody else. Or at least that's what I take from it. And let's see, do I have? Oh, so I bought 2 of these. So I'm offering this one as a giveaway. And I think it was my second video last week, which would be my kit parade number 2. Anyway, it's the one on Tuesday, May 5th. And I think is where I offered it as a giveaway. And I said in that video that what to say to me was, what to comment was, what are you most looking forward to stitching next? Or, you know, kind of what are you, excited about doing in the future? And I'm literally going to read through all the comments, assign each person to a number, and then have my husband call out a number. But that's giveaway is open for a little bit longer. I'd really like to see some more people comment on it and have a chance to win it. So, all right, continuing on. How are we doing on time? Okay, so I have these next 4 patterns. They're the 4 seasons, so they're all, related to one another. It's the 4 Seasons by Stitcher's Attic Designs, and I don't know. I think I'll leave it in the plastic. It's not a very good picture. This is Spring Roses, stitch count 66 by 69, and 28. I pulled 28 count various linens, DMC floss and pearl cottons, and there's 1 Karen Wildflowers each. So I will pull out the floss. All right, so there's spring. Hard to see, I know, in the plastic. And this is peach sherbet. Which is kind of pink and green, but it's got some purple and stuff like that in it as well. Okay. The next one is Winter Ice, stitch count 66 by 66. I'm also stitching that on a 28 count white linen. I think might be an even weave, but I think it's a linen. And I don't know how this is going to show up. It calls for a white pearl cotton and a green, kind of a minty green. The water lily, so this is not a wildflower, it's just a water lilies, is eggshell. And this is, like I said, is winter. Got the beads, which if the spring one has beads, they're in there. Some of these DMC are used across more than one chart, so it's like a lavender, 2 teals, and a brown. And then there's also a seafoam green ribbon called for in that one. All right, for some reason, I think I had to go online to find fall. This bag has the Needle Workshop from Wausau, Wisconsin on it. I don't even know if that shop is still around, but I found it somewhere. I'm pretty sure I only had 1 or 2 of these, and I had to go find the others. I'm gonna pull this one out. So this is Fallen Leaves. And I've got a darker color for fall. Karen Wildflowers Burnt Toast. And here's the flosses for that one. And there's, I would say it's a bead. Yeah, a heart-shaped brown bead. That'll go on that one. Okay. The last one is Summer Melody. Summer Melody. This one's on, looks like 28 count platinum. And I do different size pearl cotton. Not just the number 12. And it's got Karen Wildflowers Mountain Meadow. So there's the colors. And then 2 different size ecru pearl cotton balls are also in there. So that's Four Seasons by Stitcher's Attic Design. Do you like Four Season projects? I really do. I find I didn't know that about myself. But I know that now. Alright, next up is Here Lie My Needles by Shakespeare Peddler. I'm not gonna focus very well. I've got a mystery, let's see here, 32 count mystery linen. I thought it looked like it might go. I've got a Bordeaux felted wool piece, and just a variety of threads in browns and wine color and kind of tan, a brown, a green, and then I'm gonna change her dress. Instead of stitching it in a black, I'm gonna stitch it in a pretty blue. So I really just went into my stash for that, other than I did have to buy a piece of wool. This is, you know, a more primitive design, which is Teresa's aesthetic, and there's, I don't know, I think what I'm drawn to is the usefulness of it, that's a place to put your bent, broken needles, and it's decorative too. You'd frame it without glass and hang it on the wall near where you sit and stitch or sew, and then when you have a needle that you no longer want to use or can use, you just stick it in the wool. Okay, the next one I have is Mother's Tree by Lavender and Lace. And this pattern was probably made famous, so to speak, because Pam of Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching and Barbara Hills, the owner of Keepsakes Cross Stitch, both stitched this 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, maybe a couple of years ago. And you do your ancestry research and you go back the mother's line. So the mother of this person, the mother of that person, so on and so on. So when I was at Keepsakes, I got their help and I picked up a 25 count Lugana cream. And I also, these are not all the threads I'll use, but I picked up 2 of dark chocolate for the tree trunk, and then 4 cucumber for, you know, the tree and the words. But I'll need a second color of green, and I haven't picked that yet. And my plan is not to put my mother's line. I mean, I could, but I think what I talked to my sister-in-law about putting, you know, my niece at the bottom, leaving some fabric in the frame so somebody could add to it if she has a daughter. She's 12 now. So don't know what will happen, but, and then putting my sister-in-law and then her mother, mother. And so I've gone back to the early 1800s, possibly even into the 1700s with her mother's line. But that top name, I'm not 100% sure is the correct name. So I want to do a little bit more digging around through Ancestry.com. And I'll either start with the first name we know of in the early 1800s on, or I'll get confirmation that I have the next line back. But that's fun, and that's a project that I will probably just have to devote time to, on a regular basis. When it gets started, I'll say, okay, every Saturday I'm going to stitch on this or something like that. Or maybe I'll pick like my sister-in-law's birthday date, the day of the month, stitch on it that day every month. My niece's date of her birthday, stitch on it that day every month. Something to where it comes up regularly and until I get it, because it's going to be a pretty big piece, 340 by 250 stitches. So, and let's see, next up is Sewing Mends My Soul, and I think this is the last one I'm going to do for today. Sewing Mends My Soul. It's a Bobby G design. And whereas this shows it on a white background, it's 89 by 59 stitches, so it's a small piece. I meant to look this up. I am stitching it on this Under the Sea fabric. Ina. It's green, but it's got a little peachy cream color in there too. And then it's got a surprising number of flosses. So I haven't put these on thread drops in a ring. But there's the color. So it remains to be seen whether, I think that'll be fine. The one that I don't know if it'll show up enough, but it's inside the frame, so it actually won't be right up against that fabric, so I think it'll be fine. There's that one, and that's all DMC floss. Put that away. Okay, and then my next FlossTube Special, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a whole bunch down there, so we'll do this again. Thank y'all for stopping by my stitchy home, and I hope you have a great week, and check back in a day or so for my next video. If you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and then a little box with some bells will come up, and click the top one, I think is all, and you'll be notified whenever I have a FlossTube video. All right, guys, it's good to see you again. Thanks for helping me celebrate my 1-year FlossTube anniversary, and I'll see you soon. Bye.